I feel emotionally trapped in my 3-year relationship. Should I deal with it?
Should I deal with it? Well, you could spend the rest of your life just being miserable. A lot of guys do that. A lot of guys settle. I saw that in my, especially I got into my mid-20s. A lot of my friends were with women that they weren't really that into, but they married them anyways, especially as we got into our late 20s, because they're like, oh, I got to find somebody. I better not. I better stick with this. I've talked about this guy many years ago. This dude, he was pretty fit and in shape, and when we were younger, he had this girl that he was dating. This is when we were in our, probably 92, 93, early 20s, and when he would go out looking for girls to date or to hook up with or whatever, and if he struck out, he had this one booty call that was like, he'd call her at 3 a.m, and he'd wake her ass up, and she would drive over there at 3 a.m. to have sex with him. And then in the morning, he'd be kind of a dick to her and kick her out. And it was just totally a friends with benefits, somebody that he like an old faithful, if you will. And then he kept her around for several years, and then eventually, I remember 4 or 5 years after that, we were in our late 20s. I heard that he married her because I had moved away. I was like, what? I was shocked. And now he and his wife are both like ginormous. They're both morbidly obese, and they're absolutely fucking miserable. And he's living a life of quiet desperation. And so that booty call, because he never learned how attraction works, he was never able to keep the women that he really liked interested. And so he married a girl that he just really didn't give a flying fuck about. He had a few kids with her, and even the kids are overweight. But he and his wife are ginormous. He's a successful guy, but it's like, man, you can see it in the eyes, the dark circles under the eyes. It's like it weighs heavily on the soul, man. We're all gonna die. There's the amount of time you got left is every day it's shrinking like sands through the hourglass. So what are you okay going to your grave not having experienced? If you're not feeling it, if you know in your heart that you don't want to be with this woman, it's not fair to her or you for that matter to stay with her, especially if she's younger, because women get pissed off and bitter if you stay with them and you keep dangling the carrot that you'll be ready to settle down and have a family someday, and then you finally grow a set of balls when you're older, and she's given her best years to you. It's not fair to rob a woman of her best childbearing years, especially when you know that you're not feeling it and you shouldn't be there. So the right thing to do is rip the Band-Aid off if you know in your soul that you want something better, and then go find it. Resolve to do it. You got to resolve to pay the price to get what you want. And if you've had a problem keeping the women that you really like, then obviously you're doing things to turn them off. And that's the thing that my book will teach you. But it's like you got to read it 10 to 15 times, and then you got to get out there and apply it so that you see in your own life that what's in the book actually shows up in the real world, because all this stuff is observable behavior. It's even if you think I'm full of shit, if you apply what's in there, you'll get better results.